I'm Joe Mack, this is the Arts Mentor of Jim Mack, and today we're going to teach you all about tools. So the first tool up is the drill. A drill is a tool used for making holes of different sizes.
To use the tool, you grab the chuck, hit reverse, and that loosens the bit that's in here. To load a bit, you put it back in, hit forward while holding the drill bit and not on the flutes, on the smooth part. You hit forward until it tightens up. Hold on to it and give it a good crank, and then it's good and tight. Why don't we drill something, Joe? Okay, never hold something that you're drilling in your hand, because a lot of times the drill bit will catch and it will tear it out of your hand and can cause great damage to you. Nice hole. Our drill bits are usually can drill through anything that we have in here. These are metal drill bits. If they're metal, they can drill through wood, plastic, cardboard, anything that we have.
Yeah. Next tool. Okay, so the next tool is a screwdriver. A screwdriver is a tool used to put in or take out screws.
There's pretty much two different kinds of screwdrivers, and most of the things that we're going to be doing are Phillips Head. That means it has a star on the end of it looking thing. There's not many flatheads in use anymore because they're kind of annoying to do, but Phillips are common ones. You don't really want to drive a screw this long with the Phillips head screwdriver, although you could. It's best to use a drill for something like that with a tip on it, a Phillips head tip.
Okay, and the next tool. The next tool is a nut driver. A nut driver is a tool used for tightening nuts and bolts.
The nut driver looks like a screwdriver, except the end of it looks like a socket.
Or a hexagon.
Hexagonal. Thank you. This doesn't fit this one, but it's typically used to take bolts out where you don't need a lot of torque to get it off.
Yeah.
Because it's only a screwdriver. Usually if you need a lot of torque, you'll use a socket or a wrench if you can get it into the spot. These are good for getting into spot places where you know, if I need to get in here to unscrew something, then I'd have to use something like this. They come in many different sizes, metric and standard sizes.
Yeah. And now to the next tool. The next tool is a hex key. Hex key or Allen keys is a tool used to drive bolts and screws with hexagonal sockets into objects.
Simply slips in there, and we use it to turn it kind of like a screwdriver. Once again, these come in metric and standard size.
Okay. And now to the next tool. The next tool is a file. A file is a tool used to remove amounts of excess material from an object.
Files usually have different coarseness on each side. One side is usually more coarse than the other. It's a slow way of removing material, but when you don't want to use power tools and you just have some fine filing to do, this is the tool of choice. Before you go to sandpaper, files can take off more material than sandpaper. And they're pretty solid tools. You can use them on any material: aluminum, wood, metal, steel, whatever you have.
And next tool.
Sorry, everybody.
A hammer. A hammer is a tool used to impact a small area of an object.
This is a rubber mallet, and it's a regular hammer. This would be something where you don't want to damage the surface of it. Say I wanted to hit this with it. It's not, it could do damage, but it's more likely if you hit it soft enough, or you can use like a piece of wood. A regular hammer that we have in the back is metal, a steel head, and it has a claw on the end of it for prying objects like screws or nails out of wood. These are, we use them around here just when we need to hammer some things and do some damage.
Yeah. And now to the next tool. The next tool is the wrench. A wrench is a tool used to grip and turn objects such as nuts and bolts or keep them from turning.
Once again, these come in metric and standard sizes. The greatest strength on a wrench is the circular end, because you have a more teeth holding the nut that you're undoing. Although you cannot always get a circular around something that you're doing, sometimes you have to come in with the open end on it, which is much weaker, but it can usually get the job done unless you happen to be used to breaking nuts off, which happens sometimes if you apply too much force to these, or you can break the ends of these too, because it's not completely encircling it. If you'll notice, it has a bevel to it, or a slant to it. That's so that you can get in at a better angle a lot of times, like this. This would be, if this was up against like a flat surface like this, you can't really reach it like this, so you come in and you can get it better if you come in that way, okay? This also is not straight, so sometimes you'll be turning a bolt and you'll hit something like a wall. If you flip it, then you can get a little bit further with it. You notice a little bit of a, see how it's kind of pointed up like that a little bit? So that's the reason for that.
Okay, and now on to our next tool. The next tool is the pliers. A plier is a tool used to hold objects firmly in place.
As we demonstrated, these pliers have wire cutters on them. These are technically called dikes, but they're pliers as well. They don't have a very good bite as opposed to like a regular pair of pliers. Everybody knows what a regular pliers looks like. These they can't, I mean, you can buy something that big, but you know, not very well. Whereas regular pliers, you can get a bigger bite on it. Not to be confused with channel locks, which are like adjustable to different size ones. Oh yes, you can cut wire and string. Thank you, kind sir. I don't want to, can I cut this off? So usually when you're cutting with these, something like string, you kind of have to pull on it. Sometimes it'll just cut right through it for good ones. It helps to pull on the whatever you're cutting, and it usually quickens the cutting process. This one last. Okay, next.
And now on to the next tool. Okay, and the next tool is a tape measure. A tape measure is a flexible ruler that is used to measure distances or objects' length.
These tape measures are good. You'll notice on these a lot of times the wider they are, the greater you can extend it out before it goes like that. This is a pretty wide one, so I can probably almost reach across the table with this without it. See, that's pretty good. Most of them are, you know, smaller and flimsier. The wider ones are generally more expensive. You'll notice on the ends of these, they're always like this. They're a little bit loose. There's a reason for that. When you're measuring between 2 points, so stand here. If I'm measuring between here and here, then that's going to give you an accurate measurement because of that movement. It's like that because the tip of this, when you pull on it, it also will give you an accurate measurement. That's why the movement of the, so don't ever like try to hammer those little rivets down, because it's that way for a reason. This is a lock on it that locks it out in case you want to set it down, and sometimes these locks don't work very good. This lock does not work very good. But typically it'll stay in place if you want to set it down and leave it there for a bit. As a cautionary note, when you're using these, don't ever let it slide, don't ever touch it when it's sliding back in, because it can cut you. I cut my finger to the bone one time doing that. It's very sharp when it's moving fast, and it can hurt you badly.
And now on to the next tool. And the final tool is a hand sander. A hand sander is a tool used to smooth surfaces with sandpaper.
This looks like it came off of this is from a belt sander, but a regular sandpaper is about this size, and it goes on what's called a sanding block. It has like these two things, and it clamps them on the face of the block. It's like a flat piece, and then it has a handle on it so you can really go to town with it, sanding things. Work really good. Sandpaper comes in different grits, meaning the more material it will remove. So like a 40 grit, which is pretty much the lowest. The lower the number, the more coarse it is, and the more material it will remove as you're doing it. Higher grits are to get the coarse grit ones will not put a smooth surface on it, but will remove more material. And then typically what you do is you move to a lower grit or a higher number grit as you get to the final product that you want. So higher numbers are smoother, lower numbers are more coarse.
And that's the end of the presentation.
Any questions?
So thanks for listening to us. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us at acerobotics15430 or just contact us at our helpline 218-382-4357. Thank you.